What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the All Around. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. and look, Portsmouth Invitational this week. Cardell's back. We had championship Saturday, if you will. Let's get to it, Cardell. How things shake out? You told us how things were going as we were progressing the championship Saturday, but we're here.
Yeah, on the first day we did the show, and I talked about Jani-King and how impressive they looked. That was coached by Hall of Famer Cynthia Cooper. Well, they ran the table, finished undefeated, and won the championship. They beat the other undefeated team, Portsmouth Partnership, 75-68. It was an impressive performance. You know what I mean? They had a balanced attack, and ultimately what led to them running the table is that not only were they big across the board, I'm talking about from the guard to the center, they were athletic, man. They got active defensively, and they also gelled as a team, man. It was always a balanced attack. You know what I mean? It was hard to pinpoint a guy to kind of slow down, whereas other teams, like, you know, the Jameer Young and you know, Boogie Ellis backcourt, slow them down. You could pretty much beat that team, but not with Jani-King. And, you know, it also featured a matchup that I know you said you was eager to watch, you know, in the front court with Tolu Smith III and Jesse Edwards out of West Virginia, man. Jesse Edwards, you know, they rumble, but Jesse Edwards got the edge in that, but they pretty much, in a sense, canceled each other out, right? You know what I mean? But Jesse Edwards had slightly better numbers, but at the end of the day, Tolu is a champion, you know what I mean? So
that kind of matters.
Yeah, Edwards won the battle, but, you know, Smith won the war, man. But it was a hard-fought game throughout. You know, the Portsmouth Partnership jumped on them. You know, they led, I believe, at the they led 16-13 after the first, and kind of started they started the second quarter on like a 5 or 6-0 run, and then Jani-King settled down and they won that quarter 19-13. To take a 32-29 halftime lead, and it was wild because while they had the lead, Jani-King, the only thing that saved them was they hit a couple more threes, and that was thanks to Hunter Couture. Because in literally every other major statistical category, Portsmouth Partnership was winning. You know, they pretty much shot the same from the field in the first half, but Jani-King shot 36% from three. Portsmouth Partnership shot 23%. No, excuse me. Yeah. No. Excuse me. From three. And I mean, Portsmouth Partnership shot 3 of 13. We're gonna go and roll that. But Portsmouth Partnership out-rebounded Jani-King 25-19 and turned over Jani-King 9-5. So, you know, they were winning, but it just Jani-King found a way to hit more shots, and they won the points in the paint. Like I said, the big man battle, Portsmouth Partnership, 14-12 as I'm looking at it, but just a couple more threes enabled Jani-King to have the halftime, you know, edge. But in the second half, man, they were just steady. Once they got their rhythm in the second half, it was nothing. You know, Portsmouth Partnership, they battled, they fought, but they couldn't really get over the hump, man. And Jani-King in the second half outscored them 43-39, and they shot much better from the field overall in the second half. And, you know, they shot 50% from the field, 44% from deep, 81% from the free throw line. And this time they out-rebounded Portsmouth Partnership 23-13 in a major way. They just dominated them in every facet, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's why they were able to pull away and you know, win the championship. They also got to the free throw line a lot more. They shot 81%, Jani-King, but they were 13-16, whereas Portsmouth Partnership was 8-9. They shot 89%, but they didn't get there. And that's what I mean by their size, man. You know, Portsmouth Partnership, you know, DJ Horn and those guys, Sean East II, those guys are good, but they're small. You know what I'm saying? They're small compared to what Jani-King was bringing. Once you get past Xavier Johnson and AJ Hoggart, they're about 6'3" both. You got to deal with, you know, and Hunter Couture, who's 6'3". You got to deal with Tristan. You got to deal with Kevin Cross. Those brothers are 6'7", 6'8", but could play guard. You know what I mean? and they made life tough. And then if you just so happen to get past them, you got Tolu Smith down there waiting for you, man. So the SWAT is just long, and you can even see it in the second half, man. Like Portsmouth Partnership with DJ Horn was trying to turn the corner, run sets. The off ball action when you run a pick and roll, and it forces the corner guy to come and have to help on the roll guy, which leaves the corner wide open for a three. But Jani-King, Tristan, especially Tristan, and I keep butchering his name, Anaruno. He kept reading it, and he didn't get the steal, but he was getting a hand on it, deflecting it. And that's what you basically saw. That was the difference. Like, they couldn't make any clean passes to get easy shots, man. A lot of their scoring had to come off ISOs or putbacks. You know what I mean? Second chance points, man. And that's a tough diet to have to stay on to try to win a game, man. Especially when the other team is shooting so efficient. Like I said, they were 50, 44, 81 across the board in the second half, man. And then that's just the reason why they won that game, man. And look, hell of a job, hell of a team. Balanced attack. They had five players in double figures. Whereas Portsmouth Partnership had three. DJ Horn, the NC State, didn't shoot the ball well. Not his best game. He was 4-15 in a losing effort. Like I said, East held it down for him. Sean East the second for the most part. He had a game high 24 points and 9 of 16 from the field, and 3 rebounds, 2 assists. But ultimately it just wasn't enough. And Aruna out of Cleveland State, he didn't have his best offensive game. He had 10 points to 3 or 9 shooting and 8 rebounds, but he got MVP because of his defense. Like, he locked up a lot of Portsmouth Partnership wings, man, and you didn't hear from him. You know what I mean? And that was a big part in why they won. And ultimately, for me, it was a well-deserved MVP, because to me, if you look at all the players, for NBA-wise, guys that should get the invite to the combine, to me, he's at the top. He's the best prospect to me. He got a lot of tools that's NBA level already. I think he's well-deserved to get that combine invite, and he just got to go there and show and prove. And if he show and prove, he can go on a kind of Tamale Kamara type run where he goes from, we see you over there to being drafted, because he's super talented. Like, he had to play in the second half. We got the offensive rebound, and Jesse Edwards closed out on him in the paint. My man took a dribble left, spent off on him, cocked back, and dunked the hell out there, John. I'm like, that's a big man move. That's a footer move. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's a 6'8" guard doing that. He's super athletic. He can shoot the ball. He can score from all 3 levels. He can defend multiple positions. He can obviously rebound, tough. You know what I'm saying? I think this is the play right here. Yep, this is the place, man. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, the boy is super talented, man. And that's what I mean, man. These youngins today, especially today, they don't want to hear it, but it's true. And you know too, Wilson, if you're good enough, believe me, they will find you.
Oh, bro,
they are in the talent finding business, though. Like, if you that dude, like, you see a LeBron James or something. If LeBron James was, say, like a late bloomer, and he had Clown University somewhere in America, they would have drafted that man still. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
They'd have brought him in. Hey, just show us you can rumble in these workouts. We're gonna draft you 91, then number 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, talent is talent, and I don't care where it's come from. If you could play, help win games, you're gonna be in the league. It's as simple as that. And this kid, among others, did his thing. So, well deserved.
And to your point, everyone always talks about it's a different time period and all that other stuff. Nobody brings it up when talking about what you just mentioned. So if folks were able to find talent in the olden days without all this technology, and we're in the information age, think about what Cardell just said. Yes, they can and will find you.
And the thing is, I think the scouting was far better because you really had to work. You really had to go sit in gyms and take notes and really be thorough and really be organized in what you're seeing. And you get sharper as you continue to watch and see what translate and what hits, man. And he's the prototypical wing. 6'8", bro. He's the prototypical super athletic. He's the prototypical wing, man, that you look for. He just need a legit opportunity. And I pray they just look at his game and not look where he played and overthink this, because we both know pro scouts can tend to overthink things and psych themselves out of things. You know what I'm saying? One famous one that Luka reminded everybody of early this year was when Vlade was sitting courtside and he said, "You should have drafted me." But they drafted Marvin Bagley. They overthought it. You know what I'm saying? And that was a bad one. That's why he ain't calling the shots there no more. You miss that bad, you're not gonna be employed much longer, unless the guy you pick doing his thing.
Right.
And Marvin Bagley pretty much on like his third or fourth team already. So, and it tells you all you need to know, man. But yeah, man, I'm thoroughly impressed with him, man. A well-deserved win again. Cynthia Cooper, man, they love that lady, man. You could tell how she was joking with them. They laugh and playing with, like, they play hard for her, man. Like, yeah, dog. Hey, man, another example of gender don't matter. If you can coach, you can connect with players, you should be able to coach.
I was just about to say that had to be dope as hell seeing her coach. Like,
it was just dope to see her, man.
Yeah.
People don't get it, man. These younger people, it was the NBA season. You watching Mike, you watching Jordan, WNBA, you watching Coop. It's as simple as that. And they was slaughtering everybody. They won 4 in a row. So it was their word under WNBA when it first started. And they act like that don't exist. And she was cold-blooded. She was Jordan on the one lady side at that period.
They lucky that the thing synced up when she got here late in her career.
Yeah.
If had it been earlier, that 4 might have been more than 4. But I love that part of it. Now, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw the clip, because I was just scrolling on Twitter looking at the clips. Sometimes they say exactly who it is, sometimes they don't. I think even in that tweet, the caption was "No need to say anything" because how cold the move was. I thought it was undersized big. I was just like, damn, that's a nice move. That was just a fundamental ass move. Like, that's a wing. That's
a wing. Like, he's
that's
a legit
wonderful.
wing. That's the one that had like 24 in the first game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he killed the first game, and I was like, damn, like, son, nice. You know what I'm saying? But with these things, you gotta be consistent. You can't just have one game. Because think about it, that's what scouts are looking for. That's what the NBA personnel. You can't have one good game to disappear for the rest of the tournament, man. That ain't good. Especially when you try to get a combine and everybody. That pretty much it, man. You can't be consistent 3 or 4 days. How you gonna help us over 82? You know what I mean? So you're not ready. And that's the test. And that's also the test of mental toughness and stuff. Because in college, you might play, unless you're like in an in-season tournament or something, you might play 2 or 3 games in a row. But that's rare. Most of the time, you playing like two games a week. You know what I'm saying? You practicing the rest of the time and stuff, or traveling. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a different grind. It's a different grind.
All right, for sure. There's something to look forward to each and every event that you attend. So, you want to start with the second team or the first team?
Yeah, we'll go with the second team. We can have some suspense. My second team, I'm gonna start off with Jesse Edwards. For Portsmouth Partnership, played at West Virginia, big man. I think he's the. It's tough to say because Soriano was so nice, but he might be the guy out of all the bigs that's most NBA ready because of his size and athleticism. He's a freak athlete. He can play the Gafford role, but he's bigger than Gafford. He's legit 7 feet and whatever, stronger. And run protector, rebounder. He can guard guards when he gets switched out, hold his own on that end, and he can finish inside. And he can hit free throws and short jumpers. So he can complement a lot of teams off the break with that. So I think he's not the most offensively polished. That goes to Soriano. But as far as both ends making an impact and stuff, being able to fit with more teams and stuff, I think he's the guy. Next is I gotta go with Josh Adora, local kid, played at Paul VI, started at George Mason, went with Kim English up to Providence, double machine technician on the block. He proved he showed me something. I knew he was good, but I just didn't know what he would do in some of the top seniors in college. You know what I'm saying? As far as being able to score consistently, rebound, just making an impact. He was pretty consistent, man. And once he got on the block, he can score on anybody because he has a variety of moves, both hands, finishes, fairly athletic, you know what I mean? Tough, understands how to play, can play the pick and roll, pick and pop situations, easily. So I like what he brought to the table for sure. DJ Horn had a rough shoot night tonight, but we all saw all year what he can do. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that one of the microwave guys, man. He put points on the board in bunches. You know, super athletic and all that. He got got to work on the playmaking, man. That's what's going. That I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know he competes defensively, but one thing is he's small. So against bigger guards, they were shooting over him in this in Portsmouth pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to put more pressure on the ball and then to try to neutralize that, make them uncomfortable to get to their spots and do what they do. But for the most part, man, you know, super explosive scorer, athletic, tough. You know, I think, you know, with the way the game is played today, he helped a lot of teams as far as, you know, being a reliable scorer they can bring in and just put points up. Next up, Riley Minix out of Morehead State, man, 6'7" wing. Yeah, hey man, I gotta give him love, though. He's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Shoot the ball, shoot the hell out of the ball, athletic, guard multiple positions. Again, tough. You know, and that's what you saw to see NBA teams look for, toughness. You know, because you gotta be tough. You get out there and stop all these wings, man. You know, it's lethal. It's hard. It's tough. It's no nights off. So. And I like what he saw. I wouldn't be shocked if he get an invite as well. I think he fits, man, what they thrive, what they love in the league right now. 3-and-D type of kid. Man, he fits that, but he could do a little bit more as well. So that never hurts. You know, and Isaac Jones out of Washington State, man, the freaking nature, 6'8", 235, chisel, super athletic. You know, kid. You know, I think his athleticism warrants a look, but it's also he's skilled, but his willingness to do the dirty work. So, you know, you could put him on the top offensive threat across the league, and he's still gonna find a way to get you about 10 points, 5 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how Gary Payton II plays, but he's 6'8", 235. Like he could thrive in that role.
That's a dream for some teams.
Yeah, if they know what they looking at, you know.
Well, yeah, that part.
The scouts are saying this is the worst draft in history and stuff like that. And y'all say this every other draft when there's like not a no-brainer number one pick like a Wembanyama. Y'all say this every time. And it just goes to show you there's too many people in the basketball front office that aren't basketball people.
Because even from what you were just sharing, it just sounds like people who might not have a defined role, but have a skill set that pertains to a role already. Like, how is that a negative? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk about Jesse Edwards, that, like, in my head, thinking you shared Gafford, but bigger, like, that's somebody would love, like, that is literally somebody's dream.
But you know, today, if you're not knocking down a bunch of threes, yeah, you know, you're not that good. You know what I'm saying? But the Knicks have quite a few of them. And all of them pretty much came out of Villanova. Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, those guys fill a role. One, they guard 1 through 5. Like they guard, they rebound, they can pass, they can score when needed. They know how to play basketball. That's pretty much what they are. They know how to play basketball. So they're gonna make something happen regardless, dog. So that's what you should be looking for. That's what's in this draft. You just gotta see what fits your team. And it's sad that people, and then the thing is, you don't know who can get there and surprise you and emerge. Isn't a 2-time MVP a second-round pick? You know, playing right now in the playoffs, Denver.
I believe so. Yes.
You don't know what a player's going to emerge in a situation. You just don't know. So it's just dangerous to just say that, man. Whoever. And it's hard to even trust these people because they hide behind sources. I don't even know if somebody told them that. It could just be them reporting that.
Right.
So
some sources behind it.
Yeah. So, but no, that's silly. And you know, that's my second team. Now for the first team, Sean East the second. Like I said, man, you know, that's the one I was like earlier in Chauncey Billups. Can't speed him up. Goes at his own pace. And the fact that he ran point with DJ Horn in the backcourt, and he's about 6'3", tells you all you need to know, man. You know, 6'3", 190, goes at his own pace, but it's a 3-level scorer, crafty finisher, finish with either hand. He had a game high 24 points today in the championship game. One thing I like, he was a competitor. As the time was winding down, as they lost, you could tell how he pulled his jersey up, man, how he was pissed because he would have easily got MVP had they won. He was the only one that can honestly thrive against that Jani-King defense. You know, he was the only one that can make plays, but he can facilitate. He can defend pretty well. Solid rebounder for his size, man. He's just a guy that gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people need to look for. Guys who can get the damn job done instead of you hoping, like, down the road, I hope he could be able to get the job done. No, I need you to be able to get it done now, because chances are I won't be employed to see you getting it done if you ever get it done. So that's the thing. All right, Tristan and Aruna, you know, already spoke about that. It's easy. And yes, he's my MVP as well. I was going to say that, but you know, Tolu Smith, I think he was, you know, he had monster game throughout the tournament. You know, him and Jesse was pretty much canceling each other out, man, but he made enough plays to help his team win. Same thing. He's not as polished as Soriano offensively. He's not quite the athlete that Edward is, even though he's athlete, but he has the same type of big body. He's athletic enough to get the job done. Same thing. So he could find the role, rebound, do the dirty work, kind of like down to Orlando, Mo Wagner. You know what I'm saying? He's not Franz Wagner, but he Mo Wagner. He could just do his job. You know, and then we get
there's legit value in that.
You kind of figure that out once you get to the you figure that out once you have to deal with some bigs. You know what I'm saying? So like the Knicks earlier today in the playoffs, you know what I mean, with the playoffs starting, I'm pretty sure they were glad Mitchell Robinson was back to deal with Embiid.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of having and instead of leaving Hartenstein out there by himself to deal with him for 48 minutes. So you know how that go. But yeah, Tristan on the row end, Tolu Smith. I got to throw Joel Soriano in there out of St. John's. Out of all the bigs, those three bigs, he's offensively, he's the most polished, man. Soft touch, three level scorer. His three ball is not consistent, but he can hit it. And it's only a matter of time before he'd be able to stretch the floor with some work. I can easily see him getting started in the G League to development, and I can see him getting up there if he works. You know, rim protector, loves the rebound, strong, and he could thrive in pick and roll situations because he could pick the pop from mid range and light you up. Like he could literally shoot off the glass, you know, wet it, nothing but net, doesn't matter. Put the ball on the floor, understands how to play basketball. If he doesn't have anything, dribble back out, relocate. Let's run this side on this sideline, pick a roll, see what we can come up with. He's just an instinctive ball player. He's been taught well, man. So I definitely think he's another one on that list that I'm pretty sure we'll get an invite. And I got to show love to the local kid, Jameer Young, Maryland, man. Like I said, Mr. Consistent, man. We all know he can score the ball, which he pretty much did consistently, blending in with his team. But he can facilitate, but the defense, the way he defended, I know that open eyes because that shows he's an NBA defender. And most people, I'm sure, didn't believe he didn't show it for whatever reason because he had to focus on scoring so much in Maryland. But the fact that he was able to just show his complete game, it was great to see, man. So he can make an impact on both ends, man. And if he could just hit shots like he did throughout this week, he can be on that list too, getting that invite to the combine.
Gotta love it. Once again, for the people with the lazy draft takes, like all I heard were people that could provide value. But like you said, if you know what you're looking for. As always, y'all keep track of these names that Cardell shared. I definitely remember last year with Tumi Kamara. You mentioned him early, and he became a very hot name draft day. And soon thereafter, after he was part of a trade, and he had a productive rookie season. Like, there is so much value. I enjoy when you do these from this event, so much value. Obviously, you taking it in, but just listening in terms of focus on folks to keep an eye on, because through an 82-game season, hardly look, that top group, it's maybe just about what's it called, physically getting through the season. The rest after that, there's a lot of movement around. And we see some people capitalize on those opportunities throughout the year. And it changes things. So shout out to these gentlemen and wish them the best going forward. Hope to hear their names going forward. You have anything else you want to add as we come to a close?
For all the DC area folks, yes, the Wizards was there deep. So encouraging. And yes, reports are a lot of people got let go, but the people that are still there, the notable people that's pretty much making decisions, they were there. You know what I'm saying? So all y'all should be encouraged by that. Work is being put in and trying to change this, man. So, and I think they the perfect example. You can't have kids come in. Bilal's different. Coming from the French league, he was already a pro. You gonna live off that. You need guys ready to go, man. This y'all ain't got time for kids, man, to develop. Nah, we need them Corey Kispers, some 4-year guys, come in ready to go and can figure shit out and know how to be a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So, because we ain't got time to babysit, man. So, yeah, man, it should be fun. It should be fun. And yeah, I'm gonna be paying keep a close attention to who get an invite, man.
Right,
and it's not just NBA combine; it's also the NBA G League Elite Camp too. So you may want to. It's going to be, which is great because you might have four or five guys get the invite to the big combine, but the rest might get an invite to the G League Camp, which is just as good because that pretty much guarantees you're gonna have a spot somewhere in the G League, and you still get to show approved, get a nice contract, and still be in that mix to try to get to the league, man. So all the other guys who don't, got overseas. That's how it goes.
And that's great that you brought that up about the G League, the combine for the G League. Thinking about Washington. You had two-way players that ended up converting to regular contracts this year.
Yeah, Jared Butler and Justin Champagnie.
Oh, not Gino. I'm sorry, Justin Champagnie. Sorry, but like it matters, y'all. Like it literally matters. And one of the teams you brought up Joker earlier. Bro, good teams are built off picks like this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro. It's talent everywhere. You gotta know how to identify the talent, and then you gotta learn how to develop that talent. And most of these organizations don't. They either missing one of the two, or they don't have any of it. And that's what the regime with the Wizards was before the Winger and all these guys came. And I think after this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm about to say this. The regime before this new regime came in should make you appreciate what Ernie and Scott Brooks did. That's how bad they were.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is the truth.
Yeah, I mean, for real. Because one thing I love about Scott Brooks, he had them boys in the gym working. You're gonna get better. Something gonna get better. Something. You're gonna get smarter, your handle, something getting better for sure. But they ain't play that. Ernie just made some mistakes, but at least he got some players in there. You know what I'm saying? Like the last regime traded Rui away. That was pissed off Rui because you're trying to amp up Denny. That messed things up. Like, could you imagine Rui with Denny and Kuz? Like, that's what I'm saying, dog. Like, you don't get me started. This is
real quick before, because I don't want to get you going on that tangent. And the sad part is, there's a good chance we're going to see this regime look at something similar in terms of having a core, a nucleus of young folks, relatively young folks, go and add pieces to complement them, which is all that had to be done. Some patience, complement them, go forward. But as you said a little earlier, it's the difference between good organizations and bad organizations is, and even just self-correcting. Good organizations will self-correct. Everybody has misses. Self-correct. Yes. Hey, we missed. What did we get wrong on this? We saw, again, I don't mean to go too long. Like, we saw what happened, to no fault. The Warriors with what they have. They ended up with a top 3 pick, injuries, what have you, whatever happened. The James pick wasn't the greatest thing. The course correct. Bro, Trace and Pods played in college. Played. Experience in college. And you were just talking about with Corey. Bilal the exception, then the exception. Those are former pros. Go get folks that have already played a role, comfortable playing a role, to work and come play a role. Because again, like the quote unquote vets on his team, they're under 30. Get off the team.
Hey man, you said it. It's like the Knicks are a perfect example, though. Like you got Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle now, he banged up, he out. Then you got Hartenstein, plays a role. Hart, DiVincenzo, they play roles. Bogdanovich play a role. Mitchell Robinson, McBride. Those are names Precious Achua, Diakite, Sims, Burks, Jeff, Shake Milk. Those are names where when they were coming out of the draft, I'm pretty sure these GMs were like, it's the worst draft ever. That guy's not an NBA player. But they are, and they make an impact. And, Jalen Brunson, Ononobi, those were lottery picks. It's different. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you remember I wanted Mitchell Robinson with the Wizards.
Yes, badly, yes. I'm not going to say the other name, but, yeah, Mitchell Robinson was up there. Yeah.
I think they chose Rui. So, Rui, was that the draft they chose Rui? Was that the same draft?
I think so. I'm not too sure.
So, but my point is, there is value if you know what you're looking at. And those guys, what they do well, can come in and figure out a way to make an impact, which helps your team. That's all it's about. Because everybody is not going to be a star. And that's that's a misconception. I think everybody trying to look for a superstar, and it's like that's not how this works, man.
Oh no, that was worse. That was Troy Brown Jr. in that one.
Ah, shit. Yeah.
But okay, so Lord, you Grayson Allen was in that draft. Mo Wagner was in that draft. You know who? I'm not gonna mention was in that draft. Williams. Rob Williams was in that draft. Mikhail was in that one.
So that's the draft. I was like, get one of them.
Yeah, that was the draft. He was like, get one of them. Yes, that was that draft.
And then they didn't get him, but then they went and got traded for Gafford when he killed him.
Yeah, because that was the Luka draft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Williams, which you can't predict the injuries and stuff, has got to him because he in Portland. I think he got, he got to get himself healthy, man. But yeah, like it's value in that because what was I saying? The reason why I was like getting one of the reasons I said the bigs are coming.
Yep. You said it.
They coming, and now they're here.
And
so
now
if you don't have bigs. Matter of fact, if you don't have multiple bigs, you have no chance.
And now you seen some teams scrambling; they almost running out of them.
The Warriors. Now all of a sudden, maybe we could have used James Wiseman. You think? You can't teach size and athleticism, but we ain't gonna go there. They messed up. Like you said, organization messed up. And that's the dynasty of this era.
Yeah. And the course correct was to go get a college big who played the same role they played in college to play here. That said, they still need to add that size, but yeah.
Yeah, man. So I want y'all then when y'all watch this, man, like really pay attention. Pay attention to the driver, especially the second round. You'd be surprised, man. Like arguably the best player in the game was the second round pick, man. Jokic. Y'all gotta understand that, man. Like it's value. Draymond.
I'm sorry. Jalen Brunson in that draft too. 2018. Second round, third pick.
He was the third pick in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So he couldn't play. It started behind Luka and became a monster. And then they let him go just to go get Kyrie later on because they needed another guard to help him.
All right, look, boy, this gets nasty in that second round. All right, I'm gonna shut up after this, but it's Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, Gary Trent Jr., Jared Vanderbilt, Bruce Brown, Zvi Mahalik, that I can't ever pronounce his name, and Chimete Metu, all in the second round of that draft.
And those are the guys that usually are the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Carter with the Bucks, Devontae Graham, Pelicans, the Wizards. They messed up that whole draft, though. Isaac,
yeah.
Issa
Sanin, yep.
Like they got no. That's what I'm saying, man. That sets you back. They didn't hit on no. They didn't hit on nobody. Because Troy Brown was a lottery pick, but now he's a fringe guy. He's barely holding on. You see what I'm saying? And now y'all should understand. Y'all gotta pay attention. So these Portsmouth Invitational, some of these guys gonna be pivotal because they're gonna be in that second round range, and they're gonna help a lot of teams, man.
There's a lot of teams in the playoffs that are depending on second round guys in their rotation on a nightly basis, man, and have depended on them all year. Like What's it called? Yeah, I said Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen was in that draft class too. Like,
wait, how you miss on every pick in
yeah,
the draft? Dog?
yeah.
Wizards, and that's why the Wizards are where they are, though.
Like, sad part is, what's it called? Even so far, and we only seen a very small sample size. Tristan Vucevic already looks like a hit versus what compared to the previous regime second round pick just by playing 10 games in NBA. Like, that's where the bar was, just by playing 10 games in NBA, dog.
Yeah, Wizards. That's bad.
Like, when you go back and look, it's horrible to look at.
And then even that, after, you know what I'm saying? Like, the guys they could have got after that, could have got Dante, Kevin Porter, you say Grayson, Anthony Simons, Landry Shaman, who's on the team now. Like, yeah. So, folks, we ain't gonna keep going on this, but y'all get our point. There's value everywhere, and those guys usually end up being the key as to why you win the championship. Like the Warriors, the dynasty of this era. Yes, Steph and all them special players, but they don't win that without Sean Livingston and Iguodala and them boys down there. Trying to think Bogut in the early years, but he was the number one pick. I ain't gonna use him.
What's it called? Loon gets no love for what he does over there.
Looney. Trying to think of the some of the backup guards, man. But y'all get my point, man. Like, they don't win without the production of those guys, man. They just don't. And
what was the Patrick McCall?
McCall, him. Yep. The dark-skinned kid, he was like a 6'3" guard that was backing up Steph for a little bit. I forget his name.
They had Ian Clark for a little bit. Is that Ian Clark?
Ian Clark.
Yeah. They had Ian Clark for a little while. They had Eric Pascal for a little while. But again, it was a whole bunch of folks that played a ton of college basketball that weren't first rounders. And some of the higher talent they had were people that their careers were decimated by injuries, so they were available.
Yeah, and then he goes back to show Bobby Knight. I love that quote. He said, "In high school, you showcase your talent. College, you learn the game." Because you just saw in a playoff game yesterday, I believe, was it the Bulls and the Bulls? They couldn't even beat the zone.
The zone, yeah, it was the Heat.
Bulls and Heat,
right?
Yeah. They couldn't defend the zone. They ain't know how to operate against the zone. That's damn near every college team. You're gonna see some form of zone at one point during the game, or something, depending on how much you're killing. And you don't know how to operate that in the pros. Look, man, that's all I'm gonna say, man. It's value in these second round picks and in these late round picks. So you gotta pay attention, man. And Portsmouth every year kicks off the pre-draft stuff, and a lot of valuable second round picks come from it. So, and they're older seasoned players. So, keep a close eye on that.
Primed to walk in the rotations and whatnot. But again, great job this week, Cardell, as always, with the Portsmouth Invitational. Look forward to you keeping us updated on the pre-draft process as we go. We get closer and closer to the draft, man. Playoffs started, so we're not that far away from draft time. Y'all have a good one. See you guys soon on the next episode of The All Around.